No, yeah.
Woo
no,
woo!
Don't try to grab me and do it.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
this is a nice setup.
Not
though,
bad.
sir.
It is.
I like what you've done here.
It's certainly TV friendly.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly
massive,
electronics friendly.
Massive TV.
I do like the air purifier. It's a nice.
Dad
TV.
got me, my dad got me this.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know if it works, but
It
makes me feel
looks
better about living
It looks
here.
imposing.
It looks imposing.
Yeah.
There's
Could try house plants sometime, maybe. I don't know.
quite
good
an
idea.
assortment of
Make my own hair.
objects on this
Different than a
table
house plant.
that are different from houseplants, but also a good addition to the house. That's
Plants.
plants.
Yeah.
Plants. Yeah.
Welcome back, people.
Yeah.
Working title number
Wow.
13, I think it is.
Shit. Oh, it's summer
And-
school.
Yeah, summer school number 13. The last one. Lucky
Yeah.
13? I don't think 13's a lucky number.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because
It depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're
Okay.
Jason, it's a great number.
But I heard that they have like some buildings. Isn't it like they don't
They
have
don't
the 13th
have a
floor?
Yeah. They get rid of that.
What tradition?
It's funny because they do have a 13th floor. They just renamed it.
They just rename it.
True. Yeah, you're right.
That's
they,
true.
They do have
That's all it is.
technically a 13th floor, but they named it the 14th floor.
Well, and then
the
only
15th
only
is-
sometimes because that's how the skyscrapers built for like reinforcement, where they actually skip a floor just to have.
Right. Word.
I thought it was always superstition. I
Well-
thought that was just a.
I think at least there are some buildings that actually have a 13th floor that's just empty, just because it's like there are other floors higher up that are just like kind of there for reinforcement.
I did not know.
I want to know what culture that comes from. The 13.
Unlucky 13.
Yeah. Why did I feel like it was Chinese? Like that's what I thought it was.
No. Chinese. The unlucky number in China is number 4.
4.
Yeah, because when I was visiting there, and I'm a family of 4, so like I was trying to find a pair of like 4 pairs of chopsticks to bring back as a gift for my family. I couldn't find it. There were 3, there were 5, and I was confused than a motherfucker until somebody actually explained to me that 4 is a very unlucky number in China. So you
Buy
couldn't
2 for
find any
yourself.
gifts. I mean, I ended up getting 5, and we had a spare set.
Can I interest you, gentlemen, in a delicious beverage?
I think
I'd
you
love
can.
one.
Yeah. Wow, summer school podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the perk.
See, this is the dream.
Yeah.
This is what we've been.
Wow.
We've all wanted this for so long, and now we
This is-
finally have
we're
the
all in the
reality.
same location. It's just this a great.
Even back when we were in the booth, we had been
Yeah,
just
true.
about like, oh,
We
we should
have
just
this-
have
A
little
beer. Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Something
Wow.
else.
Wow. Cheers, gentlemen.
Yeah. We're trying to. This is our. Yeah. Let's do this. It's on the mic.
Yeah.
We drink to you, audience.
New location, audience people, fandom people. Finally, not just staring at blackness,
Or a screen.
trying to hear ourselves correctly. We can actually.
Mitch,
do
you
some
no
face-to-face
longer
time.
have to talk through your pulled cord.
Right.
and
Yeah.
We traded off. It was whoever.
You no longer have to talk to your ass.
We might have no choice. I think.
yeah,
Well,
I think there's
you
some
might not
points
have
when I
to.
had to swallow my words.
So, school is ramping up.
Oh
It's
shit.
getting close.
Getting close. We see a lot of.
I'm not even worried about school yet. My current challenge is just getting into a house currently.
Right. I thought you were
Oh,
going
yeah.
to the lines then.
I am. It's just I don't have a key.
Oh.
I haven't really
Ooh.
contacted the landlord while I'm down here.
That's
Mm.
rough.
So that's going to be something that I have to do.
Should probably
That's-
get on
that's
that.
That's one of the huge
Get on that.
issues of coming back to school, because Chapman University has like a huge housing problem right now.
Mhm.
They're letting in too many kids, and
For the numbers, yeah.
for the numbers, and there just isn't enough on-campus housing to be able to take everyone in.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the case here. Period. Like in California, in Southern California, just.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I
But
guess.
the school could limit how many kids they're letting in.
Yeah, they let in a lot
It's
of
true.
kids,
Yeah.
and I think that it's
I think we went over this a long time ago. But,
Did we?
well, no, but I'm going to say Filmmakers Village wasn't
Canceled?
It's canceled because it was like irradiated Earth or something, or polluted or something.
Really?
I don't
I did
know
not hear
what
this.
that was, but I think they were gonna
don't
take
know.
it all the way down to Palm, or all the way down to Maine or Chapman rather.
rather
from
far
just like
from,
extending past the Dodge
Okay. Yeah.
all the way down to Chapman, I think.
The thing, yeah, the
Continuing the diagonal kind of thing.
Orange campus is
Just straight down.
From, from the main, from the main campus over to Dodge and then continuing
well
over.
for the audience who is in China or what have you. By the way, audience members in China, you're awesome. The college that we go to is Chapman
One or two.
University. I guess the university that we go to. In the university, we're known for film school. Senior and I are in that film program, and Mitch is a theater kid.
Yep.
So he frequents trips down there as an actor, and one of the big pulls that they're trying to make for the film school is that there's this filmmaker village.
Yep.
Which is going to be a dorm, like a university dorm that they're planning to build. Unfortunately, this is one of the polls that they tried to use on my class and seniors class.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
was that there's this filmmakers village, and it turns out it won't be ready until after we leave.
Yep.
So it wasn't really like I feel like they should have said that on the tour.
Yeah, it's pretty. Mitch is in agreement.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how much people care about that, but I don't know. It seems like it would be good in terms of the benefits, but do we really need to segregate like film kids more from like regular
I
folks?
think that if it was like sophomore, junior year, I think that the freshmen should all be together.
No, that makes
was very
sense.
important.
Yeah.
I feel like the concept was also for the filmmakers village to be more for older students in general anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Backlots and
Well, no, like it's turning into
Yeah,
like,
the idea of shooting an AP not on location and building a set. I mean that would be the best.
That'd be
You're,
great.
you're comfortable. You have nice facilities.
Hollywood status.
Yeah. But
I also meant the housing too, though. Like
right.
it was gonna be people that were like strenuously following their film majors were gonna be like living there and they could throughout their term or their careers or whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of New Year, I had this. Remember when I was a freshman, I was kind of high and mighty about like, oh, how could those older kids, just take advantage of these freshman girls, But now I'm an older kid, and all I can think to myself is, how could I not? I mean, just like honestly, like, it's like my age would like give a girl a reason to think that I would possibly know something that like a freshman wouldn't know, or you know what I mean? Like. It's like, oh, he's older, so maybe he's interesting. Not the case, but how could I not play it up? I mean,
Actually, I don't even know where that comes from. And maybe it's just like I've had experience with college that would make me more appealing than some little new high school boy.
you're just older, period.
Yeah, I don't know.
And plus, if it's like, hey, baby, I'm 21. You want some booze?
How you doing? No. Wow. We already made it to the freshman ladies conversation.
Yeah, I was waiting for this.
I mean, yeah, that is a huge
Yee.
pull for upperclassmen males to
I mean,
get back into the swing of things.
And the thing is I can't like really First of all, I can't tell necessarily between a freshman and a sophomore and junior.
Are they at a party?
Yeah.
Have you never seen them before?
Oh no, I mean you're right.
They're a freshman.
But I mean like on campus and stuff.
Oh.
And you're right because it's like a behavioral thing, but other than that, like physically, you can't really tell.
That's true.
And then I don't know, I just wouldn't feel bad because I'm not like a...
No, hang on, freshman and sophomore, I would say that. Junior women they typically look a little older, and
Right.
senior women definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
They're 4 years older.
Yeah. I mean, but you've also seen them around, usually.
I'm just saying there are people who like transcend all, like you'll see a freshman who looks old as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, that guy's 30, or that girl's 23.
It's true.
And then you'll see the opposite, like a senior who's babyface, or whatever.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I remember there was, there's one girl in the film department who was very small. Don't remember her name. Probably wouldn't say it anyway, but she was just a tiny little person. Not actually, but she was just very.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yes, petite. And she at one point had said like, "Oh God, he'll always remain from a 14-year-old." And then one time later at a party, I like approached her. I was like, "So it's the self-described 14-year-old." She was like, fucking kidding me? Everyone says that. No, I was like, no. I know. I was trying to imply that we've conversed before, but hey, you can just be a bitch too.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does.
Some people just like to find something to complain about and stick to it.
That's true. But can't complain about freshman girls, am I right? Yeah, let's go back.
Like I said, I'm very excited to start this year off with a bang or two or four.
We're talking like we're actually gonna make this work.
I don't know, but
I mean,
as long as I don't mention that I work on a podcast, I think I have a pretty good chance.
Oh, yeah.
well, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, driving back, right by the the
circle.
the dojo. Yeah, right in the circle. Damn, that was a nice site to return to.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Welcome back to Chapman University.
It's good to be back in Orange
Ladies
County.
But don't you guys kind of see how this like perversion shit is just relative? Like, we're gonna be the creepy old men that we look down upon. You know what I mean?
We don't have to be.
No, we don't have to be, but
we can be better than that.
Yeah.
But don't you feel like you're gonna
You can be
think the
classy.
same that you were when you were
Creepy
18?
old
Like, you're
men.
still gonna think the same thing. Like, you're like, that's an 18-year-old girl. That's like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, except you're gonna be older and it's gonna be like, ugh, I can't believe it.
I don't know.
I feel like it's in your
Attractive
DNA.
Women are attractive.
I don't usually think about age. I think about just, appearance. And yes, that is part of it, but that's something you work into. I don't know these things.
I guess it was.
I like to get to know the person. Okay.
Sure.
Good for you.
Yeah. I think,
Overrated.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's
kidding.
like, granted, a party is probably not the best place to get to
No,
know
it's
someone.
weird, man.
So, but
It's a null point at that point.
yeah.
Okay.
No, there are some interesting people. Actually, you know what? That's an going back to school. Like, you kind of realize that the crowd at Chapman isn't necessarily like, especially the party goers. And I guess that may be true for most universities or colleges, but like, it's not the brightest bunch. You know?
I get so much worse than here, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
Especially if you like NAU and stuff like that.
True. Okay.
I'll say it. Sorry, NAU folks.
Arizona schools, in general.
Just bigger state schools, right? Like
That's true.
Ohio State. Not that
Yeah.
I've never been there, but
Anyways, back to the freshman honeys, as they're called. Yeah.
Is that what they're called? I wouldn't know. I've
they're
never
called-
been in this upper tier of
I mean, they're called anything.
freshman honeys being the
Fresh,
preferable.
fresh meat.
Oh God.
Easy
Yeah.
targets.
What is that?
Uh,
Fresh meat?
future daddy issues.
That's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Future daddy issues?
Daddy. I don't know.
I don't know, whatever.
Who knows? It was a good one. The
Yeah,
gold star for the day, my friend.
cool. I got a gold star.
Nice. Mitch gave you a gold star.
Yeah, I don't know, but other than that,
So you guys use ratemyprofessor.com? Like at all?
No.
I don't.
No?
I don't.
I've
use
never
it.
really
I
heard of
I
it.
don't put reviews
No?
up, but I look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do any rating myself.
Do we have professors at our school that are on it?
Yes.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
we
of
have quite a
Chapman
few.
professors
Oh.
on it.
I actually think of at least one guy I'd love to write a scathing review about.
Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
Usually though, I just blame myself, not the teachers. Unless it's like unless he's a horrible dick, like just incredible.
Yeah.
I signed up for primetime television because I heard that's a great class.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the book on Amazon because it's called Primetime Manual. And I wrote the teacher an email. I was like, hey, could you just send me the author? And he said, like I said, it's available in the bookstore. And I was just like, I really want to give you the credit or benefit of the doubt in saying you're not a dick, but like, couldn't you have just used that energy and written 2 words that were the name of the actual guy? But I don't know. It's one of those things where I was like, okay, I'll just go to the bookstore, like you said.
Yeah.
I just wanted some information. You gave me a 10-word reply when you could have given me a 2-word reply
Yeah.
that actually pertained to what I asked you. But
Some people just gotta have, I don't know.
They just want you to support Chapman Bookstore, apparently.
Yeah.
don't we support Chapman enough?
Yeah, we we support Chapman quite a bit.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Like, we're responsible for like 99% of Chapman GDP. So just being here.
Pretty much.
Anyway, I'm I guess we can come back to school shit if anybody thinks of anything. But
No, yeah, I mean, like, what? I mean, do you have a busy schedule this semester?
For some, I'm taking 15 credits. I had 18 credits, but then my schedule got switched on me without any notification.
Shit.
Interesting stuff.
whoa.
Yeah, they had a major class, Intro to Theater Technology, and it got switched to Chemistry of Life.
What?
Like
Yep.
someone switched it for you?
I registered for the one, and then I come back, and I'm like, when it's time to buy books,
Yeah.
I open up my class schedule and it says Chemistry of Life. I'm like,
I've never experienced that before.
That's weird.
well, I dropped it like a bad habit, so now I'm just down to 15. But
Yeah.
18 is a lot. I'm
Did you-
taking 12 this
Did
semester.
you call the registrar's office all that?
No.
You just like, screw it?
I just dropped it. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. I checked to see if it was active, and it's like totally waitlisted now.
That sucks.
So I'll just hopefully do it for interterm.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Cool.
It's it
Yeah,
starts at
I
9,
recommend
so-
that. I have not missed an interterm. I recommend that because
Yeah.
then you can get away with taking usually your second semester only 4 classes,
Yeah.
and you feel so much better. It's just so much better.
Interterm is great.
I'm planning on sticking around for the next 3.
Yeah. Interterm has always been a pleasant experience. Interterm is basically a time during the month of January where you have the option to take, it's an optional class, one class for the entire month, but you get it out of the way. For example, last year I did a stunt class, like a movie making stunt class.
Whoa.
It's pretty cool. Still got 3 credits, had a good time.
Some classes aren't offered again, right? Like they disappear and stuff
Yeah.
like
This is like a
Yeah.
one-time thing.
I don't know about this stunt class. I know that we spent quite a bit of money on it, Chapman. But
Cool.
yeah, it was interesting. It was fun. But if anybody, I know there are quite a few universities and colleges that do interterm, so I would highly recommend that you take interterm or J-term. Or,
It's worth it instead of taking like 6 weeks off or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fun to do freshman year. Don't get me wrong, I did
Take
it.
the 6 weeks off.
Oh yeah.
I could see that.
I mean, it's fun to like go and see all your friends again.
Yeah.
You like you miss them all, but especially with my mom was saying, it's interesting how we have like social networking now. So like when we left all of our friends, we were still in contact with like all of our old best friends from like.
Yeah, because I
our
think
hometown.
traditionally you really just grow apart.
You
and
kind of just
without social media.
You can come back
And with,
tell,
too.
You can tell your own stories, but I mean you've all like really changed and you haven't really been in contact, so you don't know how
Yeah.
the other people have been changing. So you
Or,
can't
you
prepare
don't know how
yourself
they'll
for it.
react and.
Yeah.
Huh.
Whereas,
Maybe-
like, you're still talking with them.
Maybe it's because my high school experience is like something I'm trying to repress every day. But, when I went back to Tucson, it's like, it's like a hairball in my throat. When I went back to Tucson, I just, I got there after having, all this experience of being in California. And I just felt weird, man. And when I was hanging out, because we went to the same place I did in high school. It's called Hilltop, this little, shitty, almost hut type thing. And we would just smoke weed and stuff in there. And we were just, because we had no choice. It was hookah and that. And if we were lucky, Keystone beer.
Yeah.
And,
Phoenix, Arizona.
yeah, I just went back and it just felt
Arizona.
awkward. I felt first of all, I felt like I was immediately ripped back into, back in
Yeah,
time.
you just get pulled back into it.
Because I was like, man, I'm really trying to be a different person,
Yeah.
and now it's like you guys think I'm the same person, and it's just awkward.
It
I
was
don't know.
okay. It was ridiculous for me because, of course, the school I went to, there's just so much drama, and I, when I left PCDS, I cut all my ties, pretty much all of them. I was like, you know what? I don't need to be a part of this. I'm going to California. I'm gonna have a great fucking time in California. See you all when I see you.
Yeah.
But I come back for my first winter break or whatever, and it's immediately, bam, sucked back into the drama of
Yeah.
whatever the hell was
Oh,
going
and then
on.
people tell you about oh, he's dating her. It's
Yeah.
I really don't care. I was hoping to never hear about this person ever
Yeah.
again in my
But
life.
the thing is though, I still kind of cared about these people.
It
because
depends
they were
on
my
who you're
really
talking
good
about.
Friends.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to, I didn't want to
Yeah.
maintain that kind of closeness with them still because I knew that this, this extra baggage would come, which it came flying back in my face. So that was, of course, that was interesting and made me want to get back to the state of California even more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. During freshman year, there were points in time when I was like, I love it here, but I'm ready to be taking a break. But that
Well,
didn't
that's
happen
because you're
sophomore.
living on campus.
Yeah.
Once you're living by yourself completely, you don't want to go home. You don't want to go back. It's like,
Yeah.
love
I
you,
can,
Mom,
I
but
can tell looking around here, you got the setup. Of,
oh, dude, I haven't
don't wanna
gone
leave.
back in Arizona in a long time. Like, I did not go once this summer.
That's not. I envy you, good sir. I was back.
No, I made my dad come out here. I was like, I really don't want to be there, man. I don't want to go back.
Mom, Dad, I love you, but Arizona
And
sucks.
the heat just fucking, like,
Oh.
even this heat, I don't like. I'm just a person that, if it's slightly above warm, I'm, like, miserable. Like, I don't like it.
You enjoy yourself a good tempered climate.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
That's why, like, Colorado's where I would love to die. I would love to, somewhere outside Denver, nice, like, ranch
Yeah,
area.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Nice, clean Rocky Mountain air.
Yeah, please, clean air. Instead of me, like, breathing out of my Therapure air filter, just shoving my face next to it.
Yeah, so you just gotta get like past the pure air thing,
Yeah. And then
just,
California's
coat your lungs, and then
Yeah.
work your way back from there.
But the thing is that, like, I feel like the air is great if you're on the coast. Isn't the air awesome? Like, if you can see the
You're not
water.
smoking?
Well, that too. I don't notice. I'm sorry. It's not like cigs. It's not
No,
directly.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's a little bit. But I feel like if you can see the water, the air seems nice out here. It's a general rule, but
Okay.
like it can't be that polluted if you're right on the coast, right?
I don't know, man. We're pretty close to LA.
Yeah,
and
I heard-
this is pretty polluted.
I heard
anyways.
LA is bad because I don't know. Which way does wind go? West to east? Something like that?
Depends on the
Wind
time
can
of
go
day.
all.
Oh, no. I thought it was a
directions.
general. There's a
You can
general
get, you can
current.
get south winds, north
Well,
winds, east winds,
Generally, I guess it would be the wind would
west
come
winds.
west
From
east,
off-
like
Yeah,
coming off
from the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, there's also like the Gulf Stream. If you're gonna talk about those kinds of things, there's really big air streams that
Right.
cover the globe.
Well, because I heard that's the issue with LA is that it's boxed in this valley,
Yeah.
and then the wind is pushing everything back into the valley. So it's like you got to imagine like stale air, like not being able to get out, and then you
Right.
couple that with smog and pollution.
Yeah, it's
It's all bad.
they take pictures of LA when they take like really big like bad pictures of LA. It's like the there's just a giant layer of smog above the city, or like pollution.
See it.
That photo is like infamous. We've
Yeah.
taken it so many times. Just like the city of LA is just
I can't believe we don't have like fucking blimps that just, like filter the air.
suck it up. Okay, well,
Like, who should we be at that stage?
this is another one of my bullshit fact stories.
Alright.
I believe my father told me about it was one of his examples of a problem that we tried to fix, but we ended up unintentionally making it worse. So there were these particles in the air, these particles, and we came up with a way to collect them and get rid of them. And so we did that, like we used this whatever. But what happened was, instead of collecting all of the bad air, we collected the big parts, which still left the smaller parts, which were sort of counteracted by the bigger parts.
This was like a machine that did this or something?
Yeah, basically the particles of bad air, we were able to collect the bigger parts, but the smaller parts, which were actually worse for you, were sort of able to come into more. So we were able to take away what we thought was bad air, but we ended up just kind of making it worse for ourselves. And I don't think, it's kind of like if we have a giant blimp that just sucks away bad air,
Yeah.
it might not end so well for us.
Yeah, but haven't we been trying to control like weather for a long time?
Air pollution?
No, air or weather, period. Just
But I mean, like, haven't you
Not
seen?
that I
like,
know of other than Dr. Eggman. That's about it.
what is this said? Is that a real guy or?
No. Well,
That's what I thought.
Sonic the Hedgehog is
Okay,
villain.
there we go.
yeah, Dr. Eggman.
Usually has weather machines.
Or maybe it's the idea of controlling. Like if you could bring rain to Nigeria, or you could, shoot something into the sky because we know the way it works. We know how clouds form.
Yeah.
We know how the static whatever and.
Mm-hmm.
So you think like, why can't we recreate it?
It would. I don't know.
I think it's
Question,
just out of our grasp right now.
Yeah, we just don't really. We don't have the. No one's really interested enough in that concept.
I don't know about that,
Well, no one's like trying to design something along these
but I
lines,
feel like
as far as we know.
it would take a lot of, we
Resources.
talk about resources or energy or materials. You talk about like rain clouds or whatever. Those are massive.
Yeah.
Like rain clouds are huge. And so in order to be able to create that kind of thing, and I think it's not just like something that we can like press a button and like pump some steam out and it becomes this massive cloud. I feel like it's one of the reasons why people really haven't been able to do that is because like thunder clouds, storm clouds, those things are huge. I don't think we really know how they work, like all of it.
Maybe we're constantly like overestimating our like technological prowess. Because I mean, you hear like, oh, it's 2012. Where are the flying cars? I mean, you look at Blade Runner. When was that movie set? Like 2016, something like that. It was like not far
The
from now.
Jetsons were supposed to be the year 2000.
Right, and it just seems like we're not even close to where we thought we would be. And we have all this great technology, but it doesn't really work fucking right, like at all. Like I think with our kids, like they'll be on Skype version 2000, and there will be nothing. Like, it'll be like a hologram, and it'll be working perfectly. There will be no like dropped shit, no drop calls, no like losing the internet
I was just
connection.
bitching at Skype because of our podcast.
Well, I'm
Something
very
like
happy
that.
to like this quality should be pretty damn good.
I mean, this
Hope so.
iPhone works pretty well.
Dude,
I'm a fan of this iPhone.
yeah,
It's pretty technologically advanced. No, it does not let me float through the sky.
yeah.
And that is a little
That's too
depressing. There should be an app
You
for
can't
that.
put your iPhone on like a utility belt, and then
And then like it makes
powers
it, it's
up
like a
and
moon
you can-
belt. That'd be Apple.
you have super strength.
If you make the new iPhone with a moon belt, I will buy it. Like I'm fine with this
Can
iPhone.
you imagine? Seeing some,
Anti-gravity force field right up your belt buckles, your little egg
Or-
around you.
or it's like it's your Batman like magnetic grapple, like you just shoot your iPhone and it just pulls you up
There's
onto your.
probably an app for that, or some sort of attachment. You can put it into this
Clip it on
awesome
both sides.
all-purpose.
I was
and then you
impressed
hit a button.
when I saw a cab driver using his iPhone as a credit card scanner. Like that's pretty cool.
Those
Like
are
they
pretty
stick
cool.
something on top and
Yeah.
it just shoot,
Yep.
it just works.
It goes into the headphone jack actually. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I paid for one of my swing dancing lessons because the guy had sweat my car.
Mm.
Pretty cool.
How you do it?
Helping small businesses out.
How is this swing dancing going?
Oh, swing dancing is going great. I'm pretty sure I talked about the fact I went to Camp Hollywood on one of the podcasts.
Yeah. At least it's
it's
obligatory every episode.
Yeah. And then I went swing dancing last night. I actually went ice skating, not ice dancing.
Oh, yeah?
So that'd be pretty fun. Swing dancing on ice. We want to learn how to do it.
Dangerous.
Yeah, extremely dangerous, but also
Difficult.
Typical
pretty
dangerous.
awesome, badass.
Yeah.
Swing dancing on a tightrope
Yeah, that's that's
over the
a
Grand
good idea.
Canyon, no harnesses.
Ooh, worth considering.
It's like, how do you make that look fun? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that I don't know. We'll have to think about that one. But yeah, I went to ice skating last night. Had an awesome time. Then went to. You guys ever been to Norms?
Oh yeah.
Going back to Chapman and beginning of the school
Mixed
year.
feelings about norms.
Yeah.
Norms we never close except for apparently that one time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been to Norms once.
It's
It's alright.
yeah. We went to Norms afterwards.
I actually like their pancakes because they're like super fat and they're just
Yeah,
like awesome.
They're not bad.
I Lumberjack breakfast is good
from
value.
The original Pancake House. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
those pancakes are fantastic.
It's the original pancake.
Is that like that's a pretty expensive one, right? Like it's fairly.
It's a little pricey.
It was the one all the way down like Maine, or sorry, all the way down Chapman.
Yeah, it's down on Chapman.
The other side.
I've never
testing.
actually been
Yeah.
to an original house pancake.
It's pretty good,
It's not the original house of pancakes.
but you can rack up a bill of $20 easily.
I make that mistake too.
I mean, I don't know. I've never had the opportunity to go.
I had the chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Good choice.
Fucking delicious.
Yeah.
But the norms, like we never close things. That's like kind of like the McDonald's 99 billion serve thing. Like I just don't know if I want to know that particularly. Like that doesn't.
Yeah.
Like oh now I'm definitely gonna go here.
Yeah. Oh, we never
99
close.
billion, 99-cent burgers. Come on.
Thank God.
And what's alarming is that you go to McDonald's and it's not bad. Like, you're like, this resembles meat. Like, I think, but it doesn't actually. It's
like
not
meat.
actually, like, I think it's like 85% soy or something creepy like that.
It tastes.
And I think they flavor it like charbroiled by literally taking a dropper and like dropping like scientific extract. And that's how it gets like grilled flavor. And it's like, come on.
Don't eat burgers, so I don't care.
They got all?
Really?
Yeah, I've
But
only
you
ever
eat
had-
real burgers, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. I was just gonna say.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
real
McDonald's
burger. I
burger,
was
saying.
okay, yeah.
McDonald's, the only thing they'll get is chicken nuggets.
Yeah, well,
Well, and then extended like
chicken
dessert.
selects are not bad.
The fries are good.
Fries are
Well,
fries
yeah,
are good
yeah,
too.
fries.
Like the moment I hear that they seriously fucking with the fries, like that's too much.
Wait,
I
what?
don't think they screw with the fries.
What,
No,
what
the
do you?
fries-
It's potatoes and you fry them in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what I like is that they always seem to be fresh and good.
Yeah,
as
and they're
opposed to,
fresh and they're good.
I go to
and
other
they're
places
salty,
and it's
they're
like
delicious.
cold and soggy.
You know, you always hear about how they fuck with the chicken, they fuck with the vegetables, or
Yeah.
the meat and all that. They just like make it really, really cheap or genetically modified. They never really fuck with the fries. You never
Yeah.
hear about the French fries at McDonald's being screwed with.
It's a shame though
So
when like I see
Yeah.
people sometimes like I'm at the drive-thru and I'll see like a mom with like her 3 kids dragging them in there to McDonald's and it's just like it's a shame if you have no choice but to eat at McDonald's. You know, I think that might be the case
Oh,
for
yeah.
a good percentage of people.
Then again, I mean, McDonald's has always been. It's all situational. Like, McDonald's has been a great after.
They're doing their
sports
best,
practice.
right? It seems like they're doing their best.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta. You can't just because they're going into McDonald's as a family doesn't mean that they are on a really tight situation.
Right.
Like when we like really begged my parents.
Oh, yeah, sometimes-
we were able to get into like one McDonald's trip after like a really good sports game or something. And
Fair enough.
Sometimes you're like, I'm starving, I ran for 2 hours on a sport, and
Yeah.
I need a quadruple burger with bacon
yeah,
on top.
I need a giant piece of bad for me.
I remember my flag football days in middle school, which,
Yeah.
the shit. Like, I actually wish I was more into sports because of, like, it's fond memories.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it at first. Then I wound up having a fucking blast. I wound up defensive MVP, by the way, because I was
Nice.
fast and I was, like, the best flag puller on the team by far.
Nice.
Like, the coaches were always, or the refs were always, like, pissed because my whole thing is, like, I would, like, see someone and then I would just, like, snap it back and it would go back, like, 5 feet from where I stopped him. So it's, like, annoying, kind of,
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? But it was fun, dude. Like, I liked it.
Just meant you were good at it.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's all about the flag.
I was
style.
like, wow, defensive MVP. I was proud of that shit. It was good.
Yeah.
Uh,
I got most improved player my freshman year of lacrosse.
Do you guys feel like, because I feel like I'm always going to push on my kids what I wish I did. Is that, like, in
Yeah,
terms
see,
of, like,
that
I want you to at
happens.
least be exposed to sports because I want you to get laid all throughout high school, starting your freshman year. And I want you to have a great time, and I want you to date the cheerleader and go to prom and love it and this and that. So I want you to, and if he decides, like, I hate sports, he
I wanna
decides
be a
that,
theater.
but I want him to have the exposure, you know what I mean? He's like,
There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm a
No, there's nothing
gother.
wrong with theater. You know, it's like that's typically what I hear next. Is I want to be an art student. I love
man.
theater. I'm a theater kid.
I totally did sports too.
I did too.
I was on the freshman football team.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on varsity
But-
soccer and lacrosse, and then I went.
Varsity or JV, by the way?
We only
Because-
had varsity.
Oh, okay. That's a weird thing.
We had
I was like,
240
varsity,
kids-
Jake. Like, you must have some fast feet. Like, you must have some
240 kids
skills.
at our high school. Like, I was not that good at sports. I was just at a school where I could play sports.
Right, because they needed you.
Because they needed me.
Yeah.
I was also a theater kid. I was a major theater kid. Didn't do any acting. Still can't act.
Yeah, I
you go.
regret that too. I was always too afraid. One day I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try
Acting?
acting, like, or at least a class or just exposure.
Well, coming back to this, if you make friends with any of the freshman girls who were in the film school, you can be in their visual storytelling things.
Oh.
And there is your like 2-minute
Ah.
acting debut.
There you go.
Because you
That's
know
not
the
a
girl
bad
that you
idea.
did is now holding the camera, pointing at you and telling you how to act.
Right.
It's
So
true.
if you really need to do it, that is
Deja
a
vu.
possible option for you. It
There's
depends on what
just
type of movie you want to make.
other
but-
side of just the being on the other side of the equation.
Yeah, no, I mean, I went to an audition freshman year with no acting experience because I'm a masochist, I guess. I don't know.
Dude, I'm a
And it was like, it was bombing. And it was just like, I practiced by myself in the bathroom because I was in a 3-bedroom dorm with 2 people. So that was like
Right.
my best.
Yeah.
And whatever, it was horrible. Like I kind of expected it to be, but I realize now like what it feels like for an actor. And like my friend was over here and we were watching a movie and he's like, "Dude, I'm pretty sure I could do that." And I wanted to smack him across the face because it's like you don't know what you can do until you're standing there.
Yeah, in front
and they're
of the
watching
people.
you, and your girlfriend is actually the director, who's an ugly guy, and you're supposed to be talking to him as if he's your girlfriend, you know. And well, that was my experience.
Yeah, it's.
I was like, oh, so there's gonna be no girl actually present here? It's
People are always like, oh, that sucks. By the way,
whatever. I mean, if I was good, I would have been able to do it.
People always like talk about how actors are so needy and like they do like they go and do something in front of the screen in front of the camera for like 45
attention
seconds and then they're
everything.
done and they are like always demanding these things. Actors work their asses off.
I would imagine it's very tiring to.
They're good at what they do and they do it to perfection. And it's it's not an easy talent.
Yeah, I mean, when you're good, it's definitely like a
It
gem.
hasn't worked forever, and on a certain level, it's because they work so hard that they are given these things.
Yeah.
You know, they're good because they've spent so much time honing their craft, and on a certain level, some of them really don't deserve all the shit that they're getting.
Right.
They're still putting 150% into every performance, otherwise they're not getting this job.
Yeah.
You know, and on a certain level, I think that they deserve the notoriety that they receive and the baskets of flowers and the diet.
But at the same time, I see, you see like a Leonardo DiCaprio type thing,
Yeah.
and then I know for a fact that, I mean, I guess it's to say working harder is not really, it's qualitative more than it's quantitative, but you showed up for 3 weeks, they were there for 3 years. The guys holding the lights, all this shit, editing, editors, directors. And a part of me is like, man, they really get the credit because they're the ones being photographed, but it seems like everyone around them is usually waiting on them and working harder, or at least putting in more hours. And it's kind of, I don't know if you can correct that.
It's putting in more hours, but at the same time, like, if you're in it for the fame, don't go into film.
Right.
Don't,
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Go in front of the camera if you want to be famous. Like, and, I mean, I don't know if you're really doing yourself a favor at that point, trying to be famous. But, the people who are really good at being behind the camera are now famous. But they're like top 0.5% of all Hollywood.
They just want to tell good stories, though, I think.
Yeah.
Which is usually that's what really.
It transcends like whatever your kind of immediate wants are.
Yeah, if you just want to tell good storytelling, you'll become a better storyteller usually through just like through the progress and through working. Like, I guess Steven Spielberg's an example.
Yeah.
George Lucas wanted to tell stories differently, so he made Star Wars.
Scorsese likes telling stories. That's
Absolutely.
I had one more thing to say to that actress. I forgot what it was. Kills me.
Oh well.
Oh, I really, the actors that I seem to like, that I really like, are the ones where like they can do amazing things, and then they're in an interview and they're like shy, and they don't necessarily like it. Like you can tell that it's like, man, it's like I like acting, but I don't, I'd rather not be here. I'd rather not be photographed. I'd rather just be alone. I like
being in real life when I'm in real life.
Right.
I'm
that's the
on a
type of
performance.
thing I respect, because it's like, wow, you can do that, but then, it's almost. I listened to a Bryan Cranston interview, and he was saying, well, he's like, actually, like shy people can act like they're not shy, and that's. So it's not like just a type of. It's not one type of person.
Years and years of dealing with people who like to talk their mouths off. You
Right.
You kind of look at them a little bit, and you know what they do. Whereas if somebody has spent years talking their mouth off, they don't really pay attention to the guy in the corner who's not saying anything.
Right.
And they don't really know how to act like that person.
This is true.
Speaking of phenomenal acting, Battleship is out on Blu-ray. Is it?
Oh dear.
What? I didn't see this movie.
I didn't see it either, but I'm
Wasn't
curious.
Rihanna was in it.
Yep.
That's like the one thing I heard, and then
She was like, "Oh no, the ships are coming." I don't know.
Auto-tune.
It's exactly
Auto-tune.
auto-tune.
Yeah. Liam Neeson was in it.
Okay.
It was. As was John Carter. That's
Yeah.
not his actual name.
Yeah, I don't.
Tim Riggins.
Was that
was
movie
the actor.
that bad?
John Carter?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it, but I heard it was like based kind of on it. It was like based on an old, kind of out of date story, right?
Oh no, that's for a fact. The book is actually like the most selling or prolific sci-fi novel of the whole 20th century. But
Really?
when they wrote it, they didn't know what Mars was. So in the it's one of the most. That's why they made the movie.
I've never heard of the book before.
Well, I don't think it's called John Carter, or if it
Oh.
is, maybe it is called John Carter.
I don't know.
And that's why it seems cheesy now, but back then it wasn't cheesy. But the whole thing, to me, the reason why the movie flopped is the book. There are people on Mars. They can breathe. There's snow. Because Mars was literally just in your imagination back then.
Yeah.
So now people watch it and like, I know what Mars is, because the rover just fucking landed or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, this is no way this could happen. So I think that's why it fell flat. And they were just relying on the fact that it was a famous novel, and they were hoping
Yeah.
it would do well.
Damn shame.
I had never heard of it before it came out.
Same. And I thought
I didn't either, but I
feel
learned
like
about
I've read quite a bit of, or at least am in tune with the sci-fi literature.
Really? So maybe it's not so.
I don't know.
Not at all.
Might want to look it
Never
up
heard of
later.
But you know, like, I could be wrong. There's quite a bit that I don't know.
I mean, do you have like a cutoff date? Like, if this book came out before 1930, would you have maybe missed it?
I
Or?
really, yeah. At that point, like, I don't know when books came out or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, like there's like the big names that you just recognize
Right.
Yeah.
off topic. But then again, you know, I'm not that well versed in books.
Mm.
Do we know if they have a recording of H.G. Wells' broadcast?
Yes.
There
What's
is
that
one.
about? Explain
Yes.
that.
H.G.
War of the Worlds.
Wells' broadcast of War of the Worlds.
What is that? Means he read it,
He read it over a radio broadcast.
the entire book.
Well,
Wow.
the
No, it
entire
was-
story. It was just like it was a story.
It was a
Kinda like
giant
story.
prank.
It wasn't necessarily meant to be.
But it was a
It turned into that sort of.
yeah.
What happened is he was doing the reading over the radio, which was basically it was the news as well as entertainment. And people were they turned into this radio program midway through, and it's this guy going on. And it's like in a news radio
that's
kind of
very
story.
funny. That's
kind
really
of,
funny.
And
Alright,
like
okay.
way he's coming in, and the aliens have landed there. They have opened fire against the military. The military civilians are currently evacuating from the city. It's like
It was taking place in New York, and it was like over the radio. So that was the only way that you could get news.
Right.
And
other than the newspaper.
and it was, I believe, there were a few factors that happened that allowed H.G. Wells to make such a huge phenomenon out of this. And one of them was that he timed it so well, and that one of the radio programs ended on another channel right about then. So they were like, people were doing channel flipping, and he did the whole like interrupt this broadcast and bring you know like the urgent news story or whatever, and it was, he did it right at the end of another show.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was actually interrupting something else. He was just kind of interrupt this program, as a whatever. But he just kept going, and people were freaking out across the nation.
I can imagine.
So many incidents, and people in New York City were freaking out.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh shit.
They must be invisible.
Yeah,
I
there's
can't
crap
see them.
going on 40 streets south of me. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm going to die. And it was.
Now he
huge
would have gotten
phenomenon.
sued. Nowadays.
Well, I don't know about that. Like, there's no way that you could do that. In
I mean, if you
reality.
create like mass panic, well, now we couldn't do it. But
I mean, well, okay, now that we say that, you know, it may happen. It's entirely possible that somebody pulls off something so fantastic that all elements of social media are fooled.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty.
Well, we've
impressive.
already heard about like people are they're trying to be ahead of the curve so much, like news organizations,
Yeah.
and then it's all connected to Twitter and this that you make one kind of mistake and then they're gonna assume it's correct and kind of
It's
continue it
out
down
of
the line.
control.
Yeah.
but then the whole media hoax thing comes into play. I believe people have tried to pull media hoaxes before.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
the kid in the airship thing that
Yeah.
was
And
going
now
on
has
and
his reality TV show or whatever.
What?
I thought the family got signed for a reality TV show.
right, because they said that they like let him go in a blimp and.
Limp Boy, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was an influence.
I don't like that idea.
No, it's not.
Them just crashing down to Earth at some point, you know. A bird hits it and cuts through the.
Yeah, that
What
would
are
be
blimps
good.
made of? Are they? It's like, is it a fabric?
It'll depend. Basically, it's anything that will
It's
hold
great.
enough helium to be lighter than air.
Or it's like
I think it's
light
durable.
metal or some type of light metal.
No, it's a fabric. I think it's like
Oh.
it's like what sails are made out of. Some pretty
It's
durable
like a
stuff.
canvas or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Interesting.
It'll depend. Basically, a zeppelin or a balloon or whatever can be made out of something that can hold enough helium or object that is lighter than normal air to lift whatever it's holding off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, what's always amazed me is like when we have the fact that we have like aircraft carriers that float. Like that's just because there's so much water underneath them.
Buoyancy.
Yeah, but it's just like wow, because I
Very
mean
buoyant.
they're made out of steel, correct?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
so they weigh probably I don't know,
Tons and
80,000 tons or whatever.
Yeah. It's because they're just like structured in such a way that the air inside the ship it keeps it afloat.
And the shape.
I guess
Air pressure
submarines
shade.
somewhat similar. Submarines
Yeah.
as well.
Crazy technology. I mean, if you think about it, well, boats weigh a lot. Like sailing ships weigh a lot in general.
Yeah, but they're made out of wood
You ever seen like a?
usually. Yeah.
I mean, you know, like a Viking ship.
Yeah.
Put enough shit on a Viking thing, it's gonna sink.
Oh my god.
If you have a hole in it.
It was just amazing, like the idea of, you know, if you're in like the 15th century and you're like, I'm going to travel to India or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
and you're on a boat that they made, and I guess it's like state of the art, but
It's still like wooden.
looking back from now, I'd be like, I don't know if this thing's gonna
They all
like,
got scurvy.
yeah.
And then you wind up in America. And then the people who invested in you make like 200,000 times return on their. That was crazy.
That's the way to do it.
That was my. You'd be like, okay, cool. You know
Best
what?
investment ever.
This guy's insane, but I'll give him like $100 just because. You're
What
sitting
could
on
hurt?
like 20 million when he gets back.
Yeah.
Like,
You got the resource of a continent, basically.
Like you put in $100 and you got 20 million back.
I'm down.
I'm down. Indiegogo, Punch Kick Love. Go ahead and contribute $100.
Yes, yes. Contribute to our Twitter page too, folks, because if it's looking boring right now, I think that's more your fault than ours. I don't.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
always
know.
open
Maybe it'd be
to.
kind of boring.
Well, we're always into suggestions.
Yeah, to me, I'd be excited because I would know, like, looking at that page, that they're gonna see what I write. You know what I mean? Like, that's my
I feel
perspective.
like the moment we get an actual other follower on Twitter,
Yeah, right.
I'll be excited.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know.
I mean, I'm always excited because
It's also great if you're wondering where the next episode is, like this week. Like we had some making up to do because we missed
Yeah.
our regular release.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Twitter's gonna say that, but otherwise you're just not gonna know what
I mean,
happened.
audience, please let us know that you're alive. Like that's what I would want. You know, like it's not just like some random computer for a comatose. Like people
That would be
aren't
disturbing
actually
too if
listening.
all the downloads were automated somehow.
Yeah, that would suck. Please don't do that.
I don't think. Well, I mean, they are automated in that if you subscribe, they will automatically download.
Yeah.
But like people are listening to it, not just
Well, I mean, they would have to have hit subscribe, so that's.
Yeah.
That's
Which
the
is
investment.
actually important that you do. Please do subscribe to the show.
And you can put in a little comment in the comment box.
Yeah.
Right.
Reviews are awesome as well.
We never
Oh,
did
yeah,
the whole
dude, are
like
we supposed to do our
Stitcher
spiel?
radio and Facebook.
Oh, I
Did
never
any of
started
that?
with this.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
so relaxed.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're at the 50-minute mark, and I guess I'm gonna do. Let's just save it for the end. Another beer.
Yeah. Who else
It's,
is in there?
There are no cold ones.
I'm fine.
Fuck that.
No more cold ones. Sorry.
Yeah.
You bastard.
There's a Kirkland in that box. I need to start preparing my liver for my 21st birthday. So
It's coming
When
up.
is it?
September 14th.
Okay,
We
yeah,
talked
right.
about
I'm a
this.
week after you, or I guess 9 days.
We'll decide. I think I already talked about my concern is that if I don't do a conjoined birthday, nothing will happen for me. That's like my fear.
Yeah.
And 21 is the last birthday that matters in your life, pretty much.
Well,
So
I mean,
To
completely
me, it
off
does.
topic. I think September 14th
it's a Friday. What?
is kind of.
Oh, yeah, it was not. You
I
could
think
just.
I think you'll have a big celebration.
Oh, because it is a Friday.
It is a Friday.
Whoa, that would be a nice
Yeah.
topper to the topper.
Yeah, and you got some coming up on that date as well. So I think you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm excited. My uncle's sending me a nice bottle of scotch.
Nice.
He said when I was
Oh,
20, I
nice.
started drinking scotch, and I'm into scotch because I discovered Johnny Walker, and I would like to learn how to drink scotch, and I know it's gonna be rough, but I can do it.
Scotch goes
Down
down.
in my belly.
Yum.
Scotchy.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Anyways, back to school.
Yes. Honestly, I'm almost more excited to see some of the girls I was hanging with at the end of last year. Like
Yeah.
The freshman girls.
Yeah. That should be pretty fun.
Because you've already planted some seeds there. And I don't mean planted some, like, seed. I mean, like, you've kind of...
You not actually
You've
had
begun.
sex with them.
Yeah,
You lay down the
like,
foundation.
Yeah, you're laying down foundations for what you're doing.
You're waiting for them to come back, and
You're working your way towards more of, like, a grounded relationship. I don't know. Who knows? But you got some groundwork.
And then
Got
again,
some
I mean,
blueprints.
something to be excited about with coming back to school in general is just being able to see all of your friends again.
Absolutely.
You know, people who were back at home or whatever, and you're all finally back in the same location. It's like awesome. The people that I spent 9 months with and able to spend a lot more time with because you're in college. You know, it's not like I got to go over to my friend's house. You know, blah blah blah. Call him up, see if he's available. Go only see him from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day.
Right.
Him or her being the case. And just being able to call somebody up and be like, hey, I'm over by the dorms right now, what are you up to? And then in 2 minutes you can be hanging out in that person's room, or they can be over at your house and just kicking it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that I've been able to make a lot more close friends here at college because you're able to just spend more time with different people and multiple people.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see everybody again. You know?
Yeah. It's great to be back.
Great to be back on that account.
Harrison was hitting me up earlier. But,
Yeah?
oh, yeah.
Bogo.
Maybe.
That's what he kept saying to me.
Pogo?
You assume he doesn't understand that I'm like not a business. Like he's on the business end of it,
True.
so he runs out. Whatever, doesn't matter. Last Thursday was kind of a rough one, and we had to cancel the episode because by the time, well, it'll make sense after I'm done with this, but that was the day where I took my final in symbolic logic, which I crushed pretty much.
Crushed in a good way or
Crushed in a good way.
Well done,
Studied
sir.
a lot for it. It was one of those things where I wasn't able to get anything right, but I just was continuously exposed to this material, and that by the last week, it started clicking for me a little bit.
Right.
I woke up, I took the test, I felt great, but I had eaten very little, and I guess I was sort of dehydrated too. I only really ate like 500 calories the whole day, and I was dehydrated. And I was gonna go meet Jeff to get some dinner.
Yeah.
Early dinner. I meet up with him. He's like, oh, I'm not really hungry. And I was like, okay, I'll just go. After we smoke, I'll just go and whatever. It was nice catching up. I smoked with him, still not having drank, still not having eaten. And some other people came out to sit inside. They were smoking cigarettes. And we went through two smokables. And I felt good for 20 minutes. And then I started feeling really like faint and lightheaded, and it kind of progressed to where I broke out into like a cold sweat. There was deafening ringing in my ears, and I was trying, and it was awkward because there were people that I just met, and I was literally just trying to control myself, like breathe, and it was just awkward. Like they ended up kind of leaving me out there because they were like, hey man, you want to come inside? And I was like, I couldn't get up because I knew if I got up I'd probably black out.
Yeah.
I put my feet up on the table, and I wasn't even explaining what was going on. They just thought I was like a pussy lightweight or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the room started spinning, and I was just breathing through it. There was ringing. I was like, I've never experienced this in my life. My hands are shaking. I'm sweating. And I eventually, like 10 minutes went by, and it kind of, my world came back into focus. I was like, guys, I have to leave. I almost passed out. I got to go get food. And I went. I went home. I felt better when I ate and I drank. We were supposed to do the podcast that night. Me and Mitch both missed it. Jake didn't miss it.
Good.
But at that point,
I was
yeah.
on the Skype page like, so, I think we're today. The first thing I said was today's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've sort of been in that summer mode where I'm like,
Right.
Today's Thursday. Last I heard.
Yeah, don't really know what day it is. But
So
it's
we were-
Thursday.
we were already a day late.
Yeah.
And then at that point, like I had like my migraine was coming back, and I just felt like weak and not good. And I wound up like for the rest of the night, I just like I couldn't sleep, and I was just throwing up like violent vomiting. Which whenever I get dehydration migraines, I get nauseous, and it seems like they never go away until I vomit. But the problem with that is if you keep vomiting, you're also dehydrating yourself. Which I guess for some people they go to the hospital. It works out for me. I'm fine.
Yeah, throwing up
But
sucks.
so that was a what?
Throwing up sucks.
Yeah, throwing up sucks. Especially when I ate because I had not eaten in the day. I was like, okay, I'm going to eat and drink and make myself feel better.
Right.
But what I found out is, because I researched online afterwards, when you are dehydrated, your body, like, takes blood away from your digestive system or something like that. So you're actually not able to digest what's in your body.
Ooh.
So your body signals, you need to get rid of what's in your body. So then you're throwing up, and it's just a
shit.
horrible... So that was a fucking nightmare, and then I woke up Friday rejuvenated. But it was just...
That's
There you
good.
go.
Yeah,
It was like, oh my god, I came... That was like, I had my last punishment before I was done with class. I had to battle death. And it was one of those things where I was in public at Jeff's, and I was like, oh my god, like, I'm going to black out here, and I do not want to do that. I don't
Right.
want to do that. That's awkward.
Right.
That's weird. So that was shitty. But now I know. I just need to drink and stay on top of it.
Well, at least we'll never have to suffer that fate.
Yes.
That's what we really should be taking from this. 'Cause
No.
that sounds fucking awful.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
be honest.
That sounds like it blew, man.
Oh yeah, it was horrible because I was vulnerable and I was just like, I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
But it was like I couldn't talk and I was.
Just so out of it.
I had like a similar experience walking back from that the day we had the wake up to party. I was just drinking from like however early it was.
Yeah.
All day.
Especially alcohol just dehydrates you too.
Yeah.
So.
I eventually walked back and I had to just sit down a curb a couple blocks away because I was just like, oh, it's so
Oh
bad.
wow.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But I made it home. I was fine.
That's what I hate. That's the one thing I've grown up with is migraines, and they seem to be much more manageable. When I was little, they would just like make me cry, and
Right.
they would just I couldn't handle it. And I would get sick, and then I would just have to find a way to fall asleep. But when I woke up, I'd usually be better.
Right.
But I've been dealing with that my whole life, and it's the one thing where when you have a migraine, it's like you have to submit to this migraine. Like there's nothing you can do but just enjoy the suffering. Like that's it. Like it's not going away.
Endure. You can't. Yeah,
take
you
it.
can't. You just gotta take it.
So, but
That's no fun.
what about on the video game front? Any new news there? You guys hear about any games coming out or? stuff you're into?
DayZ, which is
Zombies?
Zombies,
Yeah.
yes. But it was a mod of some game, I can't remember what it was, but it was an online computer game. And there was a mod of it called DayZ, and it kind of blew up.
Yeah, it kind of
I think
exploded, right?
after Penny Arcade talked about it for games you might not have tried 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more of it's a survival game, not as much like a zombie game and as like
Zombie killing game.
Left 4 Dead. It's not like that as much. It's more like you have to go around. You have to forage for
Scavenge,
food,
yeah.
scavenge, and like
Survive.
there might be the one zombie in the house, but you don't really know, and so you have to be careful. And then you just pop
You're
it.
not really equipped to.
Yeah, I mean you're like basic.
So kind of
equipment.
like the Alone in the Dark. Is that what I'm thinking of? Or I'm sorry, like it's like I Am Alive, but with zombies. Sort of.
I never played I Am Alive. Is that
I don't know if it's out yet, but it's the idea that it's like more survival oriented, like Book of Eli
that
kind
game.
of.
That got turned into like a.
Xbox Live.
Is it a live game?
Oh, they
pretty
just
sure.
botched it.
No, they just changed it.
They shrunk it.
They
Yeah. So essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's
Though there is what's coming out? It's the one that looks like Ellen Page. but
Last
it's
of
not
Us.
Ellen Page.
It's not Ellen Page.
Last of Us. We've talked about
Supposedly,
I
Ellen
thought that
Page
was
is doing a
Ellen
voice acting gig for video games.
that. Yeah,
I feel like I saw that somewhere, but I don't know.
that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little girl.
Well, yeah, she has a very recognizable voice, so people
Yeah.
would be like, oh, yeah.
Well, everybody thought it was Ellen Page.
Everyone thought it was Ellen Page, so they were just like, oh, I can totally see her being in a video game, because this is Ellen Page right here.
And then
Look at her
everybody
go.
was like, oh, well, let's put her in a video game. How does that sound, everyone? That sounds good.
Okay, that sounds good.
Good.
That's good. Yeah, all right.
Good playing, everybody. Let's drink.
Shots.
Woo.
Woo! That's how
Um,
Hollywood goes, ladies and gentlemen,
No doubt.
in our minds.
did you guys see the old Red Dawn movie with Patrick Swayze?
No.
Ooh,
But
I feel like I may have.
Should.
But
You should.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a wonderful type of '80s movie where, like, I'm excited for the new Red Dawn.
They're
Like,
making a new Red
I know the trailer's out.
Yeah.
Check out the trailer, folks.
Making so many remakes.
Yeah, they are making so many remakes, but
See, but this is good because they're not Russians. They're like Koreans.
they're North Koreans. Yeah.
So,
They were gonna be
Oh.
Chinese, but then the Chinese people got a hand in like the raising money for the movie or something like that. So obviously
shit. Yeah.
you can't make it Chinese anymore.
Yeah.
Huh.
You gotta get some different companies in there. Okay.
And I'm so excited that I don't even care that it's Chris Hemsworth who's in that movie, and he looks kind of like he's doing a Patrick Swayze impersonation almost. So I've watched a trailer from that, so I'm excited.
Who's feeling?
I like the look of it. I'm going to watch 80s version first. But
Yeah.
I'll probably also watch Red Dawn or something.
Yeah, I mean my expectations are so low for movies now that I just want it to be good on any
Yeah,
level.
yeah. I feel like you're just like hoping for the good of movie kind at this point.
Yeah.
Senior's just lost faith in Hollywood.
That's like when the Dark Knight movie comes out. I'm like, like I know I'm gonna enjoy this. Like I'm not gonna get let down in a tremendously.
Apparently, according to Adam.
Yeah, I know, we already
Adam
talked
or
about they don't
whatever,
like it.
They were
But
really
they're like
disappointed.
they're like
got so
nerd
close to
purists.
being
So it's not like you're gonna
Yes.
enjoy the Dark Knight Rises if you're a reasonable human being. You're gonna enjoy it. Like you're gonna enjoy it.
Apparently not, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I loved that movie.
I mean, you just don't need to, bless you, you just
Thank
need
you.
to, like, take it as a unit and then just enjoy it. You just
Yeah.
don't really go into analysis of it, because then you'll start having some...
Particularly
the
if-
thing is, I feel like we're all used to picking apart Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that's
what
we
he
don't
does.
have to.
We don't have to.
right.
I feel like this is one of the situations in which we should.
I watched Inception the other night, by the way, because I
Yeah.
have this wonderful Christopher Nolan box set I was talking to you guys about. It's
Yeah,
right there on
it's
the
right
table.
over there. I see it.
And I've decided that it doesn't make sense. I've decided that it's plot holes galore and it just doesn't make sense. And I watched it. This is the third time I've seen this movie. After the second time, I was convinced that it makes sense. Now I watch it and I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
It sounded like you were completely positive.
I guess I learned more about the way it works, where I didn't realize that in every dream, everyone's subconscious can permeate the dream. And if you're telling me that's not true, then the whole DiCaprio with his wife Maul doesn't make sense at all, because she shows up in every dream no matter what.
True.
And it seemed like in the movie they explained that you have a dreamer
and everybody
who
else
fills
in
it with
their
their
dream.
subconscious, but you also bring your own subconscious to it as well.
Yeah.
And I respect them so much because there was a lot they had to deal with, like the amount of time on every dream, every level.
Yeah.
And then I didn't understand how DiCaprio was able to go to limbo like twice, or it didn't make sense. Like he died to get to limbo, but then he died in limbo too. Like he was
To
stabbed
get
by
out
his
of it.
wife. No, he had to go like in deeper limbo to get the Asian guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, the business guy who's running everything.
Yeah.
But it just didn't really make sense, and I was like, I can totally enjoy this movie, and maybe that's what Nolan means for you to do. Like, don't think too hard. But I really,
But
I'm
the
not
movies
sure
that he
it
creates,
works.
You have to think about them. Like I feel like that's what he wants you
Yeah.
to do. It's just get out of the movie theater and rack your brain for a little bit.
yeah, like I couldn't. I'm not like holding it against him, but it was just like, this really doesn't make that much sense, does it?
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. You got to watch it again closely and try to establish what they are saying the rules are, and then see if they play by them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to come up with like a crazy concept like that and fill every single tiny
Right, I know.
crack.
It's better to not look at it and just enjoy it. I mean,
Yeah, it's like
No, on a certain level, if they're
Depends
really,
on the movie.
really good
I mean-
stories, like, and you were able to pick it apart more, I think that is one of the more incredible stories. If there are absolutely no plot holes, and it's a good and engaging story
yeah.
across the board, no holes.
I think you achieve that by like a more simple story. Like you look at like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Reservoir
Of
Dogs,
course.
and that's
But at the same time, it's such an achievement to be able to pull off your
Yeah.
own world, no holes in it. All the character motivations make sense. Like it's
he said 10 years. So to me, I almost think I can't be right. Like he obviously thought of
Yeah.
something I didn't. Like he spent 10 years with this, so it must make sense to him. But it didn't really make.
And
a huge
I
amount of
mean,
sense to
I'm
me.
gonna actually pull the anime card here and bring in one of the stories. The anime One Piece or manga One Piece. I know when they brought it over to the United States, it was a terrible port because they turned it into a kid show. It's not really a kid show over in Japan, and that is one of the worlds where the story is over 10 years old. The guy's been making this like magazine manga thing for over 10 years.
I don't know what it is. Is manga the name of a show, or is it a type of anime?
One Piece is the name of the show. It's like pirates, set in sort of like an alternate world where like pirates and there's like a bunch of other cool, really different things. Very unique, very unique kind of anime story, TV show, anything like that. Kind of like a building block for a lot of other stories. But it's really interesting because he's been working on it for like 10 years or so, and last December, I believe, he took a 2-week break because he was halfway done with the story. So he from the beginning, he had the entire thing planned out.
Yeah.
It's now been 10 years.
That's
And
crazy.
he's been telling the story, and he took a 2-week break for himself because he made it halfway. And honestly, like, you look through that lore, and like there have been like catalogs and things published about like how perfect his lore is and how there are no plot holes and no like contradictions with continuity. It is incredible. I mean, I love that story in general. The plot twists in that story are some of the greatest things I've ever come across. And I mean, of course, it is an anime, so it's not for everybody.
Right.
But it's, in terms of consistency and building your own world, it's something to be envied by everyone.
Yeah.
Because it is, the characters are ridiculous, but if you establish these characters, you allow yourself to suspend disbelief, the verisimilitude of the world is perfect.
That's what
Thank you. Film aesthetics.
Yeah, you look at something like that, and then you look at Lost, where
There-
like you were watching it, you're going like, these guys are making this up,
Yeah.
and then they finish the show, and they're like, we were making it up. Like
Yeah.
we had no idea where it was going. And I think it's just kind of funny. Like that was a huge hit, obviously, but
Yeah.
it was these guys just pulling it out of their asses. These like creative people just go ahead and we don't even know the. And that was an example of like I thought about starting that show on Netflix because the whole thing's there, but
yeah,
I don't think I can because the whole gimmick of the show,
is now,
the draw was we don't know what's going on,
yeah.
and now we know that not only
I mean, I feel like Lost has been spoiled for everyone,
right.
regardless of who you are.
Well, it was one of those things where I think you had to just be with it, or
Yeah, you had
or
to
you
go
didn't.
with it the entire
Yeah.
way. I'm definitely there with you on that page.
I wasn't with it in any way.
Yeah.
No,
I like the first 2 seasons, I believe, and I just fell out of it for some reason. I don't.
I didn't end up watching it, and now I know how it ends. So I really, for me, it's like I'm not gonna get mind fucked.
And now I'm convinced that Breaking Bad is one of the best shows on TV, if not the best show on TV. I'm on season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. And
Okay.
I was the whole issue is I canceled cable, and I'm rocking an Apple TV.
Mhm.
And the problem is, what's interesting is that they sell for $99 now, and they're 1080p.
Oh wow.
And the Apple TV 2s sell for like $300, and they're
Yeah.
720p because they're hackable. and that you can jailbreak them, and you can literally get cable on it, and movies and internet and just anything, you know.
Huh.
And the whole issue is everyone's waiting for Apple TV 3 to be jailbreakable, I guess.
Jailbroken?
Or yeah,
Jailbroken?
to be able to jailbreak it. And they're trying to, these hackers are trying to develop it, but they literally can't do it because this
Really?
last Apple TV is so streamlined. Like
I
they
don't
stripped
know
out.
about that.
No, I do know about it.
Really?
Because I've been following this for months and months and months.
Oh.
And there were articles going back to like 2010 we're working on a jailbreak, we're working on a jailbreak. And it seems like they can't figure it out because it's literally an issue of having like CPU. I don't understand, you know, like the terminology, but
Right.
Yeah.
having room to make a hack. Does that make sense? Like
Oh.
having room, like power wise, and it's so efficient. If you look at like this box here, you know, it's like 3 inches by 3 inches or less. You know, like 2.5 by 2.5. So it's literally an issue of
Space.
they can't figure out how to exploit this thing because it's so like simple and streamlined.
Well, see, now that I think about it, you may be right. Although the example I'm bringing up, which is the PS3, and it took forever for them to hack the firmware.
But they figured it out eventually.
But the reason why it became such a big deal, and because they were able to hack it, but you had to go down to the hardware, because every single time they made a hack, you could just release a software update. Sony released a software update that just fixed the problem.
Right.
And made it for the people who had the hacks to like really, you know, they were kind of screwed.
Yeah.
And all the new games, they couldn't get the new games because they had software cracks. in
Right.
them.
Right.
And it finally got down where somebody was able to fuck with the root keys, and that took 4 or 5 years. And then
Yeah.
there was the giant fiasco where people were swinging the band hammer all around, and you know, it was just like huge thing unfolds. But
Yeah.
you know, I feel like
I hope they figure it out. Because I can't wait to have
Back
a
in Apple
jailbroken. Oh my god.
That'd be awesome.
the new.
Because now I
iPhone-
just have Netflix and Hulu Plus, which I don't subscribe to. So
But there are the stories about like how like they have like the all-star hackers.
yeah.
I believe they probably, what was it? The guy hacked the new version of Internet Explorer within 30 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah,
God damn.
yeah. Like they're really good. Like people who run anonymous and the people who are well known for hacking. Like I honestly feel like Apple TV wouldn't hold up that much of a thing to them. But maybe.
Well,
it is.
maybe this is an issue of creating
Hardware.
software for mass consumption. Like maybe there's one guy who figured it out, but I don't
Not that
understand.
many people are gonna jailbreak their Apple TVs.
This is
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, but the jailbroken Apple TV 2s are supposedly awesome.
Yeah.
And then your other option is like a Roku player,
What's that?
which is it's a similar thing for the similar price, but it's not Apple. But it's like I don't want to buy a Roku player just to jailbreak it. I love my Apple TV, and the idea of a jailbroken Apple TV is great because you have everything you love about Apple,
Right.
and then you have none of the things you don't love, which is the fact that it's the most homogenous type of, I don't know, almost like incestual experience. You know what I mean? Like you're locked in, you can't get out, you're stuck with their proprietary stuff, and you
Right.
have to pay ridiculous amounts of money to rent a movie or whatever it is.
Right.
But
Yeah.
how you doing, Mitch?
Doing pretty good.
Mitch
Cool.
is kind of down for the count right now.
Little
ladies and
hungover?
homies.
No,
Yeah, I feel like he. You have a good night, Mitch.
just went to sleep.
Oh, okay.
You just got in last night, or?
Yeah, I got in last night on my plane. I was
On a plane.
a little late coming out of SeaTac.
Yeah.
Got a ride back from Rookie, and we just kind of went back to the Letdowns and went to sleep.
Yeah, sleeping tires you out.
Hey, I never said that I was tired or hung out. I'm just
Just
fucking.
unconscious.
I'm not. I'm just talking to you.
Mm,
Yeah.
Is that unconscious behavior?
no.
No, it's
Nope.
not. He's
Do we have
Sorry,
oh,
uncomfortable.
do we have anything else to contribute?
Is there anything else to bring to the table?
This is not a particularly long one, and I feel bad for the folks that had to wait so
I
long.
think but like I think sometimes I feel like we
That was
I don't know, I
such
think-
a solid flow. I think we just used up all of our trail lines. And
Okay.
if you guys be
I mean, this is going to be a long outro kind of anyways, because I got a bunch of things to address.
true.
And
True. So yeah, I mean, you can just why don't you do that? and
just
then we'll,
get it out of the way, and then
yeah.
we'll take it from there.
hit the outro.
Well, this is our last episode of summer school, which doesn't really mean anything. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Except now we're actually going to be recording in a controlled environment where we're not relying on the Skype call quality, and we
This
can
is
actually
true.
see each other.
Also,
So hopefully this quality, hopefully you guys liked this one, and let us know if you didn't. Hit up the Twitter page.
Please do.
The next episode will be, we're gonna have to figure out when we want to do it. Do you guys like sticking to Sundays? Because aren't we gonna be like kind of busy during the weeks?
Yeah, I think sometime on the weekend would be good. Are we gonna try to do multiple?
What I like to do one a week,
One a
and
week?
then like once a month do an after hours where we
Okay.
just go back on the Skype call, but we're inebriated as fuck.
All right.
So
okay.
so not I mean I realize we all have to deal with school and stuff, but
Yeah.
at least once a week I think
Yeah.
is
We'll do our best.
Let us
but,
know what you think.
yeah. This show is available on Stitcher Radio, which is a mobile app for your phone, iPhone, Android, and now iPads. To listen to all the podcasts you could want to listen to, like Kevin Smith, Joe Rogan, Adam Carolla, like all the big ones, probably a lot of the little ones too, we're on there. And even NPR Radio. It's totally free. I recommend you try it out. It's great because it's streaming, so you don't actually have to like download episodes. You got the nice, sexy 4G connection. You're in your car, and you can just stream whatever show you want to listen to. When you download it and you open it up for the first time, you have to register with them, and you can either sign in with Facebook or create a new account. Before you do either of those things, click on the orange "Tell us how you heard about us" banner. It's above the Facebook button. It's bright orange. You click on that. It opens up a text box. Inside that text box, put in the one-word promo code "working title." It's one word, "working title," the name of our show. You get a chance to win $100. We get $1, and it's like an indirect way of donating without actually spending your own money. You're just telling Stitcher to give us money, which helps us out because, hey, we don't blow it on Coke. Money that comes in here, you don't. I guess Mitch does what he.
Mitch blows his 33 1/3 cent.
Yeah.
On Coke.
Yeah.
I do what I do.
As soon as we start getting some cash flow, we are going to step it up equipment-wise, and it's going to be really fun and really cool and
One and done.
really togethered. And our website's workingtitlepodcast.com. That has a link to our Twitter page and YouTube.
Follow us on Twitter at Working Title Pod.
Yes, we're also on Twitter. I like what you did there better because then you don't have to repeat the Twitter thing twice.
Yeah.
And I'm not posting on Vimeo anymore. It doesn't seem like it's worth it, so just check out the YouTube page instead. There are a couple old videos on the Vimeo page, but if anybody has a real problem with that, voice your opinion. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you got no problems with it. So, YouTube and iTunes. Subscribe to the show if you're not subscribed because it really helps us out a lot. And rate the show. That helps us out as much, if not more, in terms of circulation and getting exposure so other people can see our show and decide for themselves whether or not they like it. I think that was it. I think we got all the mandatory stuff out of the way.
That was
Sounded pretty good.
That was impressive. I thought that you had like a little thing in front of you every time you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I'm
just
just
off the
so
cuff.
used to it after all these episodes.
Yeah, wow. I'm impressed.
So you guys we're winding this down right now, and
Yep.
I mean,
tune in next week for the first episode of season 2 of Working Title.
Yep.
We'll have a lot of stuff to talk about probably because it'll be
brand
wait,
new.
actually next week is
Oh,
before school starts.
I think next
Brand new
week's
is O week.
All right, so that's not a bad time to kick it off.
No, yeah, that's
All right, so we'll have a little pre-class
orientation.
pilot. We're gonna get some good topics for you guys, and we're gonna kick ass next episode and have some great shit to talk about, some juicy stuff.
Juice.
But we'll
Nice
see you guys.
steaks.
See you
Take
guys
care.
then. Later, folks.
Deuce.
Remember when I was a freshman, I was kind of high and mighty about like, oh, how could those older kids, just take advantage of these freshman girls, But now I'm an older kid, and all I can think to myself is, how could I not?